Charlas de la noche. Palabras con imagen. El análisis de los acontecimientos que influyen en nuestra vida con el periodista Francisco Durán Rosillo.
Frank Durán Rosillo te saluda y los saluda a todos ustedes, su amiga María Celeste Raraz, para invitarlos a que se suscriban a mi canal de YouTube, María Celeste Raraz, tal como mi nombre, donde les informo todas las semanas sobre entrevistas que tienen un tema que ayuda a mejorarnos como personas y de paso son interesantes. Las pueden encontrar en mi canal de YouTube, así que los espero. Y se suscriben gratis.
Dear friends and co-workers, tonight I am going to make a revelation. Probably you remember I mentioned on this broadcast that I developed a problem of rheumatoid arthritis, and my doctor, Dr. Shao, and Resurgence Orthopedics told me, Mr. Duran, I have medications to prescribe you, but they have a lot of side effects. And the only problem is I can kill you in 6 years with the side effects. Technically, my best recommendation is move as medicine. Let me switch to Spanish. Amigos de la audiencia, a muchos de ustedes no les dije en detalle que desarrollé una artritis reumatoide en todas mis articulaciones y en ocasiones el dolor es tremendo. Me dobla desde las rodillas, los pies, la cadera, las manos, y no quiero tomar mucha medicina porque mi ortopedista, el doctor Shao, de la clínica de Resurgence Orthopedics, me dijo, señor Durán, hay muchas medicinas, pero solo le haría un daño por los efectos secundarios. Mi mejor recomendación es ejercicio o muévase como medicina o haga ejercicio como medicina. Yo pues me estaba recuperando de haber perdido a mi esposa, creo que es algo que uno nunca se recupera, y saben que tengo este broadcast, escribo para la revista Siempre y hago mis servicios de consultorías con televisoras. Bueno, nunca había trabajado en una tienda de autoservicio, vi un comercial de Walmart y a pesar de que mucha gente me decía, no, es muy pesado, no les pagan bien, los tratan muy mal, a mí me llamó la atención y dije, bueno, necesito moverme. Llené el formulario en línea, no puse que soy ingeniero en sistemas de seguridad, no puse que estudié televisión y artes visuales. Y en la experiencia, ¿a qué se dedica? Lavar platos en un restaurante mexicano. A los 15 minutos me hablaron y al día siguiente ya tenía yo mi reunión para reclutamiento y empecé a trabajar en el departamento de frutas y verduras. Maravilloso, porque yo movía todos mis huesos y me ha servido. Les mostré fotos. Hace algunos meses hubo una reunión de ex empleados de CNN y muchos me preguntan, y de Turner Broadcasting, mucha gente me decía, oye, Frank, ¿qué has hecho? Porque algunos pobrecitos ya traían bastón o andadera o silla de ruedas y yo solo recordaba, move as medicine. Switching back for the English-speaking people. So, I applied for a job in Walmart after Dr. Shaw diagnosed me with grade 6 of rheumatoid arthritis. So when I apply online, they ask me about my professional experience. I don't like to put that I have a bachelor degree in digital networks and digital security networks. No, I ignore it. I don't like to put that I study television and journalism and visual arts. I ignore it. And I just put, I am a dishwasher in a Mexican restaurant. They called me 15 minutes later and hired me. What I really appreciate. Because since the first day, more than 3.5 years ago, I am moving my joints and the pain is not cured, but reduced a little bit. The day after I feel pain, but once I move a lot, I feel okay. Few months ago, we have a reunion with employees of Turner Broadcasting System, CNN, Warner Media, and many of the co-workers asked me, Frank, what are you doing? Some of them were using canes, walkers, wheelchairs. I don't like to offend people, and I just remember, move as medicine. Thank you, Walmart. It really helps me. But tonight, I would like to have your point of view because this broadcast is going to the groups of Facebook of Walmart. Because recently we have sad news about the murder that happens days ago in one of the stores. I opened part of the doors of the store in the one I work in Alpharetta, Georgia. And many times I found side doors unlocked, curtains unlocked, and that jeopardized that people that works on the third shift. They are risking their life because if an intruder gets in and like to do something bad, it can affect my dear co-workers. And you know what? The best asset of Walmart are not the buildings, are not the merchandise, is the people. And I empathize with Walmart because I feel again like if I am working in Turner Broadcasting System, because it's the cultural melting pot, the diversity. There is people from Africa, from Cuba, from Venezuela, from Mexico, Americans, a nice team of wonderful people. And then every day, like 3 months ago, they moved me to be a greeter, those old men who are in the door sticking happy faces on the kids and telling welcome to Walmart and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, if we see something weird, we have to call the bosses and they take care. Well, many times I found the doors unlocked when I was in my way in, and honestly, I feel that situation, especially days when happens the murder in one store because the intruder gets in and kill people. I feel bad, honestly, very bad, because they are hardworking people, nice people. And everybody needs a job. Everybody has family waiting for us at home. Let me switch to Spanish. Cuando empecé ya a trabajar, pues empecé se los decía, en la parte de frutas y verduras, empecé a mover mis huesos, luego me promocionaron, me pasaron a Delhi, me subieron el sueldo en muy pocos meses. Total, llevo más de 3 años y ahora me pasaron al departamento en que soy, pues, greeter, con una persona que les da la bienvenida a los clientes. Y me divierto mucho porque muevo mi cuerpo, no me deprimo y pues aparte si vemos una situación rara hay que reportarla a los jefes. Sucedió lamentablemente hace algunos días un asesinato en una de las tiendas, una cosa que no quiero ni repetir ni mencionar, pero yo me sentí muy mal. Y ya tenía yo una serie de reportes a mis jefes diciéndoles que encontraba yo las puertas que deberían de estar bajo seguro abiertas cuando yo llegaba poco antes de las 6 de la mañana. Me ignoraron. Bueno, yo dije, como Walmart es una empresa muy abierta, te piden que reportes cualquier cosa a recursos humanos, al departamento corporativo, y sí, procuran darle seguimiento. Pero nunca me esperé que cuando reportara este video, se los muestro, aquí lo tengo. A ver si lo puedo abrir. Les muestro. Aquí está. Es un video corto. Simplemente llego en la mañana muy temprano y tengo varios de este tipo, de la misma puerta y de una cortina. Vean. Friends of HR and security, this is Frank Duran. Every day I check everything in my way to get in and look at. Today, the side door is unlocked. It's almost 6 a.m. and they failed. Well, the video is very short, but the main concern is that doing a risk assessment in my mind, I remember that Walmart is the company that more violent problems have on their stores nationwide. And you can remember many of the problems. So has no logic. If I find problems, don't report. I try to be constructive. I like to be proactive. And I send these videos to the corporate office. Well, days later, the manager called me. A very nice person, the manager, very, very good manager, Mr. Hopkins. And he tells me, Frank, you have to store your duties today. That happens last Saturday. And you have to wait. HR calls you. Well, I tell him, oh, probably it's in regard of the doors I reported. And I was expecting questions to build a risk assessment. Frank, how many times you find those doors open? What happened? Why do you believe they are unlocked? Have you seen people on such and such and such dates or times, etc., etc.? I attend the interview, but they haven't made specific questions. And help me, because after reviewing the video, I believe these two Walmart executives try to make me part of the problem, when the problem is my boss, Brandon Ansley, a person that always ignores situations like this. He is not proactive. If I am telling a problem, he leave me talking alone. He's gone. I have a bunch of complaints from customers from him, because sometimes he represents the manager and he doesn't care. One day, a very nice customer, a senior citizen, very frequent customer, tried to return a battery for his car that for some reason haven't fit, haven't worked, whatever. But he bring back the battery brand new without move anything in his receipt. They don't like to take back. And he asked for the manager. I called my boss. He talked to him. I don't know what he says, but the gentleman on his way out, he told me, you know what? I will never buy on this store. Oh, sorry, sir. I apologize. And after that, I figured out that the negligence from Mr. Brandon Ansley is the problem. It's not Walmart. It's some executives that they are not proactive. They don't have a positive attitude to resolve problems. They are bureaucrats with a third world mind that drop away the situation with a stupid excuse. Because when I am on the door, I catch the fire about many problems. I try to communicate, but after this experience, they try to make me see like a criminal or something like that. Honestly, I felt very discriminated, because you know me, I've been working on CNN, on Televisa, on Fox Television International, TNT, and on those jobs I have a very detailed background check. So I'm not going to accept that two assholes who never do their job properly put me a label to justify their job just sitting in a chair. And now comes to my mind and makes sense why Walmart has a lot of problems. They pay zillions of dollars last year to make advertisement telling that Walmart is the best company to work. No, Walmart has the best employees, but not the best mid-management, no the best top executives. And I remember very clear story that one of the biggest stockholders sold half of his stock to invest in better ways to manage the company and avoid violence. Well, the answer is easy. If you have assertive people managing the complaints, you will not have problems. But you can see, I'm going to share with you the video. If they fire me, I don't care. I prefer be honest with my coworkers and with all people, because customers jeopardize their lives too. And honestly, this situation makes me feel frustrated. Let me tell you in Spanish. La situación es que trabajando, pues, esto a lo largo de estos 3 años, cuando me pusieron de greeter, obviamente, pues, porque ya estoy viejo, se los acabo de decir, con la artritis me duelen los huesos demasiado. Y bueno, estoy agradecido que me dan la oportunidad de moverme y trabajar, pues yo no puedo estar en un sofá viendo televisión todo el día. Eso me mataría más. Entonces, yo le reportaba los problemas a mi jefe, Brandon Ansley, pero el señor nunca se responsabilizó de decir, bueno, gracias, o vamos a ver qué hacemos. No, nunca le importaba. Además, yo lo veía los días que los clientes tenían una queja y ya habían hablado con servicios al cliente, pero preguntaban por el manager no estaba, yo le tenía que avisar a mi jefe, a Brandon Ansley, que querían hablar con él. Y menciona el caso de un señor, un cliente muy correcto, que compró una batería para su carro, un señor ya grande, pero una fina persona el señor. Y por alguna razón la batería no le funcionó. Trató de cambiarla, no se la aceptaron. Le hablé a mi jefe lo atendió y el señor salió echando pestes de la tienda, diciéndome que no, fue el peor error que lo presentara con Brandon Ansley y que no iba a regresar ya y que todo le pasó, perdió el dinero, perdió la batería y lo más curioso es que días después vi a un cliente afroamericano con el mismo tipo de batería, la llevó a regresar y se la aceptaron. Todo está en las cámaras. En Walmart todo se graba en video. Usted llega a la tienda y los miles de cámaras que tienen lo graban y desde que va entrando ya saben si me robé un chicle o un chocolate y no lo pagué. Todo sale en las cámaras. O sea, y cuando una persona no escanea un producto, arriba de cada caja hay una cámara. Entonces se graban las imágenes de la persona. Los empleados no les podemos decir nada, pero cuando salen sin pagar, si son productos caros, las fotos llegan a las autoridades. Pero bueno, ese no es mi problema. La cosa es que cuando reporté yo que esta puerta que les presenté en inglés, que estaba sin seguros y no era la primera vez, lo había reportado muchas veces, y al ver que días después hubo un asesinato en otra tienda, y bueno, una cosa muy triste que no quiero ni repetir, yo le aviso a Recursos Humanos Corporativo de la situación. Vean, estoy tratando de ayudar porque esta puerta nunca la cierran en la noche y la cortina. Me llaman y el store manager, el señor Hopkins, me llama y me dice, oye Frank, mandaste un comentario a Recursos Humanos, tienes que alistarte para que te entrevisten. Ah, bueno, no hay problema. Llegó la entrevista, la van a ver a continuación. En Estados Unidos, si ellos te piden permiso de grabarte, tú también tienes el derecho de grabarlos. Es recíproco. Ellos no tienen ninguna autoridad sobre tu persona para ellos grabarte y que tú no los puedas grabar a ellos. Y yo, porque yo sé de televisión y de las leyes de broadcasting, entonces a mí no me salgan con cuentos. Y yo pues fui con la mejor actitud, pero este par de altos ejecutivos nunca, yo esperaba preguntas, oye Frank, ¿cuántas veces has visto abierta esta puerta? ¿A qué horas? ¿Qué días? ¿Has visto más gente alrededor? Un risk assessment, una investigación al respecto. No, más bien, y espero no estar equivocado, las preguntas fueron enfocadas como que a incriminarme. Y sí, el par de tipos me preguntaron más de mi raza, de mi acento en mi inglés, lo cual es muy discriminatorio, porque soy minoría. Entonces, y no me ayudaron, ni ayudaron a la empresa. Este par de hombres, yo no sé qué están haciendo ahí, y ganan dinerales, ¿eh? Es gente muy bien pagada y se supone que la confianza de los empleados, sus vidas, está en sus manos. Yo por eso les traje a su atención este problema. No, me tildaron de loco. Por eso estoy haciendo este video en ambos idiomas para pasárselo al presidente de Walmart y a todos los empleados de Walmart para que aprendan de irse con cuidado con estos tipos, porque en lugar de ayudarlos, los pueden hasta, pues, tildarlos o culparlos de algo. Y eso no es justo. Ahora, yo lo hice por tratar de ayudar, porque Walmart es la compañía que más problemas tiene de incendios, de asaltos, de robos, de peleas dentro de la tienda, de balaceras. Cosa curiosa, en Estados Unidos no se ven tanto esos problemas en otras tiendas, pero Walmart está a la orden del día y todo es por la negligencia de esos ejecutivos. Déjenme pasarme al inglés para que no haya discrepancia. I was telling in Spanish that I try to bring under the attention of these executives on Arkansas, the corporate office, the situation, but they don't ask me the questions I was expecting for to build a risk assessment. They ask me more questions about my race, about my broken English, and I feel fully discriminated by these two men. And honestly, I disappoint with both of them. As you are going to see in the video, when somebody asks you permission to tape you, the permission is reciprocal. If they tape your person, your voice, you also have the right to tape them. That is in the law in the United States of America. Nobody has the right to impose, tape you, and don't give you the right to you also have your version. I have two people in front of me, the one who interviewed me and the other one like witness. No, he was an attorney making notes to affect my job, my person, and thanks to Lord and thanks to my experience on television, I tape this conversation, and please screen and listen carefully everything, because I believe these two people, and I don't mind if they fire me, is Walmart. But the only thing I like to do with this is crystal clear that negligent executives of the corporate office are jeopardizing lives of customers, families, babies, employees, mothers, because they don't build a case. They don't interview the employees. Oh, you find the doors unlocked. Let's go to see how can we avoid this, about that. No, the same negligence I see in my immediate boss, Brandon Ensley, is the same negligence of these two guys. And I am doing this video because I am going to bring under the attention of the CEO of Walmart, because I remember one of the top corporate stockholders sold half of his stock market to invest that millions and millions of dollars on a situation about how to improve a better work environment, how to improve and make the stores more safe. Well, sir, you spend that money and you are wasting your money on these two guys. Let's go to see the video. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and have a good night. And please put on your comments. I could be wrong. Y por favor ponga en sus comentarios, yo podría estar equivocado, pero mi intención era prevenir y salvar vidas. alertando a los ejecutivos de que hay gente que no es responsable y deja las puertas abiertas toda la noche, overnight. Por favor, vean el video. No está traducido, pero yo sé que ustedes son muy inteligentes y lo pueden entender. Muchas gracias. Nos vemos y nos escuchamos mañana. Por los días santos no voy a hacer programa, al menos de que haya una emergencia. Gracias. Hello. Hi.
Hey Frank, can you hear me?
Yeah, very low. Let me increase the volume here.
Okay.
Can you hear me better?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me okay?
Perfectly. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good and confused. You sent me to 3 days off. I don't
Yeah,
know.
just want to talk with you. I understand there was some frustrations and things going on, and I just wanted to speak with you and get to know you a little bit, and just see what's going on. Okay, see what we can do to help.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, let me introduce myself. My name's Adam, and I'm with Corporate Services here at the home office. And this is my colleague Jeff.
Yes, Frank.
We had some things raised and just wanted to ask you some questions about it, okay?
Yes, sir. Probably I type in some time from myself to don't lose the opportunity to let you know. And let me crystal clear. My confusion is because my bosses don't pay me attention. I am on the door where I catch the fire from many situations, and I am trying to help. I'm not trying. I love Walmart. This is my retirement job, honestly, and I go with my best of my attitudes to put the best of me. But unfortunately, as you have on many of the emails, Mr. Brandon ignores me. So I prefer let you know because I don't like a situation that you, Mr. Adam, and what is your name?
Jeff.
Jeff, come and tell, well, Frank, we have you at the door, okay, you are a greeter, but you saw a confused situation and you don't bring under attention. So that is the idea when I send you a note. I'm not a troublemaker. I am waiting for my retirement. I am waiting to my son make me grandfather. And that are the main things on my life. And in regard of my job is put the best to Walmart because I appreciate the opportunity. Period.
How long have you been with Walmart?
More than 3 years, guys.
Nice. What did you do before that?
Before Walmart or before Greeter?
Before Walmart.
Before Walmart, I was in Cox Media, that they are the owners of Channel 2 in Atlanta, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and I was organizing the Hispanic markets in regard of advertisement. For example, Vegas and Florida, and I was scheduling commercials to keep more impact and get the punch advertisers want from this. Before that, I was in Fox Television International. I was coordinating the break spaces with the same regard, organize all the cross promotions because we oversee 17 signals internationally, and we schedule also commercials to have the best commercial result. I supervise almost 35 people in the office and 60 people regionally on the offices, pan-regional, Argentina, Chile, Brazil, Mexico, and a very intensive job that consumes my hair and my health. I stayed there around 10 years.
Nice.
And before that, I was in Turner Network Television, Warner Media. I assisted Turner to launch channels in Spanish. And nice experience of life, 20, almost more than 20 years. Anyway.
Nice. Well, I can't help but notice the accent. Where are you from?
I am Native American.
Okay.
My grandmother is Kickapoo. It's a tribe that used to live in Texas and part of the south of US. In fact, there is a huge lake called Lake Kickapoo. I speak Kickapoo. Let me give you a bless in Kickapoo. Onex palextrin, sikubin, yukulkin. I send you a book about the history of my family. I understand because in some ones I'm not expert, but I speak Native American, Spanish, English, Italian, and Portuguese. And basically I am the translator on the store because I avoid situations when there is misunderstanding. Not too long ago, a Japanese customer likes to buy alcohol on Sunday, and nobody can explain him that we have our restrictions. And he was offended. So I explained, wait a couple hours and you can have your beer or wine. And then he go home happy and he come back.
Nice. Okay. So you mentioned you're a greeter there at the store. How long you been in that position?
At least around 6 months. But honestly, I feel frustrated, Mr. Adam, because I catch the fire about problems that customers bring under my attention, and it's when I send you notes. And sometimes we have in customer services, with all my highest respect, because you give the opportunity to everyone, you have some people with heavy accent from India. And Anglo customers tells me, oh my goodness, nobody there speaks English clear. I couldn't exchange or trade these underwears, just I need a different size. What can I say? But I also cannot criticize my co-workers because they do a hard job. We are a team, and what I do, I just mentioned to you, I go and translate and try to help, because Mr. Jackson is the best manager I saw in the years I have in Walmart. He told me very clear when Miss Martin, when he put me in a conversation with Miss Martin, and he says, Frank, the job is easy. I don't like problems in, I don't like problems out. What for me means, if you can check the videos, make the customers smile, feel them welcome, and make the customers happy when they go home. And it's all I do. Obviously, we have some people, homeless, majority, that they steal snacks and situations. We follow the company policy. We don't save them anything. I just alert Mr. Brandon. I send him a note. This is happening. Okay, Frank, don't follow them. Don't tell them anything. And it's all I do.
That can get frustrating, right?
Little bit, because Walmart is a great corporation, and obviously if we don't protect the revenue, we don't justify our income. And for example, Ted Turner, the founder of CNN, when I start to work with him, he tells us, let's go to make expressway roads. Don't cover potholes because they come back. Let's go to make a good expressway. Everything runs smoothly. And I feel like if I am on CNN again, because the diversity of Walmart make me feel when I was on that job. And honestly, I developed a very hard rheumatoid arthritis. My wife was ill 22 years of cancer. I stay with her all the time. Ted Turner gave me a laptop and I take care of her and I work from home. But the arthritis was killing me. When I go to see the doctor, Dr. Chow, in Resurgence Orthopedics, he told me, Mr. Duran, you are my customer. Your wife is my customer. I cannot lie to you. You develop a grade 6 rheumatoid arthritis. If I give you medication, you can just turn on TV and see tens of medications that cure the pain and you will feel okay, but I kill you in 5 or 6 years. And the pharmaceutical deposit me $600 in my personal account, and I cannot do that to you. My best recommendation is move as medicine. So I have 2 bachelor degrees, one in journalism and television and visual arts, another one in digital media. So I told myself, well, I cannot back to an office, stay seated, doing poor moving that is bad for my joints. I have to do something. I saw a Walmart commercial. I apply. I don't put my real background. What do you do in the past? I wash dishes in a Mexican restaurant. Why? Because if I put my 2 bachelors, you are not going to call me, guys. So they call me 20 minutes later. I start to work in produce, moving my bones, moving my joints, and honestly, my arthritis have not progressed. We have a reunion of CNN of all old employees. If I show you the pictures, many people using walkers, canes, wheelchairs, and everybody asked me, Frank, what you do? And just I talk, move as medicine. And I love it. And Walmart is a daily lesson. I learn a lot. I learn what elders, old people eat to live longer. I learn from other cultures. I have a situation to keep the front of the store clean because for me, we sell food. If the store is not clean, we don't sell the merchandise. And I have some discussions with the barbers beside, who in sometimes you can review the emails I send you guys. But for me, in sometimes the place smells bad. And when a customer is walking in, receive bad odors, and see chunks of hair on the floor, that customer is not coming back. And I told all that situations in emails to your ethics department, and I appreciate they support me. One day I come back and the floor of the barber was completely clean. After months and months sending pictures and telling, hey, ask these guys clean. Anyway, ask me questions, guys. I have nothing to hide. And, my wife is in heaven. What else can I expect? go with her. You know, Walmart gave me 3 wonderful years. I was thinking, well, if they like to fire me, thank you for these 3 years. The only thing I'll be missing is awake at 3 a.m., take my cold water shower that is very helpful for my arthritis, move my bones, check the videos. I clean the entrance at 6 a.m., parking and the cart area. And I love to do it because I am moving. I am doing what I need to do. Sometimes I take breaks because I have a knee repair surgery and I have pain. I sit 5 to 10 minutes, but I go back. When you assign me to garden, oh guys, I love it. And if I turn, well, I cannot move the camera because I am using the camera from the screen. But I take care of my wife's plants. Since she passed, none of the plants or orchids and other plants has died because I love her plants. And my mom, I raised in a little farm in Texas. My mom was gringa and she loves her plants. And I spent all my childhood waterizing the plants and the trees, and I love it. When my other grandmother moves me to Mexico, I keep doing the same. And I like to see the good parts of life. I don't like to be a troublemaker, but if you put me on that door, I just do what Jackson says. Frank, I don't like problems in, I don't like problems out. And that was very smart job description.
All right, Frank. Well, let's talk about. You mentioned those breaks, the 5 to 10 minute breaks, and I guess there's been some discussion with your AP coach about those breaks, and you've raised some concerns about that. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, guys, I have a surgery on my left knee.
When did you have that surgery?
I sent the papers to ethics, HR, whatever, and I can send it to you if you give me an email.
I'm just asking. When do you recall about when you had that surgery?
Around 10 years ago.
Okay.
But you know, honestly, the surgery give me more trouble than benefits. And sometimes I feel more pain, but I'm not going to complain. I just move my bones, I feel okay, back to work.
Yes, sir.
And I like to do the job.
I've had lots of hip surgeries myself, and so being on my feet quite a bit can get pretty tiring, and I got to take those breaks where I got to sit down as well.
That's right.
Did you file an accommodation request with Sedgwick or anything?
Sorry, I hear some noise on the background. Repeat the question, please.
Regarding your knee issue, did you file an accommodations request with Sedgwick because you need those breaks?
Well, no, I'm. You know what? I don't like bureaucracy. You know, I believe that if I have, and I told to Brandon and I told to Jackson, please, because I wear those braces, you know, that really help, especially in winter, keep the knee warm. And when I feel pain, I wear or I adjust my brace and keep working. Just little break and I keep going. Is all I need. And you can check the videos. I am spilling the beans about what is happening every day. But if Mr. Brandon told you an opposite situation, you know what, gentlemen, my high respect for you. Check the videos of my job performance and you decide. I respect your final decision. Because honestly, Mr. Brandon, one occasion on Christmas, they put on Halloween, they put some stuff in a special. So they put that close to the door. And I think, oh, this is a nice gift for my son, his fiancée, and their dog. And mistakenly, I put two behind the cooler, thinking that on my break I am going to pay and put in my car. No way. 20 minutes later, Brandon came with Jackson, infuriated, telling Frank, I don't hide behind, I put on the side, you can see the video. Frank, you are stealing merchandise, you cannot do that. And the way he was telling me, Jackson honestly, he feels shame and he stay away, because I never have the intention of steal that stuff. What happened is I was working, and there in Walmart, many employees that find merchandise in special, they put in the break room, and at the time they leave, they pay for it. Nobody steal it, honestly. And I did that mistakenly, and I crystal clear, Mr. Brandon, I'm not stealing. Have you paid for that? But very aggressive, very mad. I say, no, Mr. Brandon, I am working, and I know I cannot do shopping at the work time. Well, if you haven't paid, he took the stuff and placed back to the shelf. Okay, sorry, I apologize, and I haven't do that again.
Okay. So during a conversation with ethics, there was an email that you sent a couple days ago that I wanted to talk with you about. Do you know what I'm talking about?
About the news?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you know what? My background is in news.
Okay.
I been the investigative reporter for a long time. And my concern is that in sometimes people becomes very aggressive in the way in and in the way out, because we check the receipt. And I was telling them, hey, in sometimes these situations happens, and for me it's very sad. At 3 p.m. I have Jackson give me a paper for interviewing behavioral therapy. I accept. I don't deny. The only thing I fill in the questionnaire, I did my military service, and they asked me, do you have guns? And I put the 3. I have guns because I live alone in my house, but I'm not stupid to carry out. Even the Georgia law allowed people. I'm not that kind of man. I know. My father always, as we raised in a farm, my dad always teach me, homes are to protect the house, period. So honestly, I was thinking, oh, probably they are going to ask me about that question, because last night at dinner I told my son, you know what? I answered yes to this question. And probably, as I mentioned, the story on the news about the employee who get in and attack co-workers, that situations drives me sick, drives me sad, because I am very pacifist. And honestly, Walmart treats us very well to waste situations like it. That is my point, honestly. In fact, when I see customers walking in, I do a second check of their back just to see if they are carrying guns. Even in Georgia, I don't know if you are familiar with the Georgia law, there is legal carry a gun, and you know, we cannot do anything, and I just check to be prepared in case of emergency, as you teach us in the videos you gave us when we received the training. But that's it. Honestly, I was not pretending to do something bad. My attitude is positive. I am 64 years old. I'm just waiting for my grandchildren, and I'm not stupid. I'm not going to jeopardize. I own 2 properties here in Johns Creek, one for my son, one for to spend my last years. And honestly, I am not going to waste my time doing stupidities, and especially in a company that gives me the opportunity to move, to have the medical insurance, because with Donald Trump we don't know what is the future of the medicine, and many situations. But honestly, that is my position. And as happens here in Georgia, well, I was thinking probably they need to know that is what I thought, but I never consider you put me a label of troublemaker or a situation like that just for trans.
I'm not trying to label you as any troublemaker. I'm just asking you some questions just to make sure we kind of understand the situation. I'm going to ask you a couple follow-up questions, okay? This is just covering bases, and I just need to ask you, what kind of weapons do you have at home?
Oh, just the basics. 22 caliber Mosquito is all I have, and I have one. And let me tell you why I buy. Because I took my wife and my son to the movie theater, and when we leave and go to the parking, I found my car open. And the person who opened my car took my briefcase. I remember like yesterday that happens to me when I work for Turner Broadcasting System.
Okay.
And if there is a promise my wife asked me when we get married, is she was diplomat, she asked me, please never have guns at home. And I followed that promise for many years. But the situation was that the men, I have a case for my glasses inside my briefcase that says, if you find these glasses, please call me and I pay you a reward. Well, the guy called me and tell me, hey, I am a good Christian. I see your glasses. If you wire me $5,000, I give you back your briefcase and everything. You know what I did? I called Fred Mays, the GBI director, Georgia Bureau of Investigations, that is my best friend, and I say, Fred, I have a situation. What can I do? Frank, honestly, give me the phone number. I am going to investigate, but don't follow up with the request. And his second question was, do you have a gun at home or I give you one? And I say, no, friend, you don't have to give me a gun. I buy one. I get my background check because, you have to fill a paperwork. And I took my son to a training about how to use it, blah, 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 etc. And we hide the gun in a known place for my son and myself. My wife was skeptical, but I told her, what happens if this man is bigger than me and is carrying a gun and he likes to attack you and my son? Sorry, I'm not going to wait that police come in. He knows our address. He knows us because in my briefcase I have pictures. I have my credit report, gentlemen, in there. And I was desperate. My wife accepted and told me, you know what? Okay, go ahead, take our son to the range, train him about how to use it. But I don't like to touch it. I don't like to know anything about it. I am very scared and afraid about guns. And
so you said you had a 22 and what else?
And 360, a middle caliber also. I don't remember the name. But Guys, if you are thinking or putting me a label that I am going to do something wrong, no, gentlemen. You are talking with the wrong man.
No,
I have those.
not trying to label you at all. We're just following up to make sure, kind of understand your situation. You know, obviously we have to look into any type of concerning
Let me
statements.
see if I can turn around the computer and show you my backyard is huge. Sometimes I see deers, I see I don't know if you can see the no because I have,
You got that filter on. That's okay.
yeah, but I have a huge backyard with trees and everything, and my only home alarm is my dog. And
Yeah.
that is the reason why I have it, because I was afraid that men who open my car come back and try to hurt my family. That's it. And that happens almost 25 years ago, and I never opened the case in years and years.
Okay. So you mentioned that you have an appointment with a therapist today. That was at the store manager's recommendation when he gave you lira. Is that right?
Yeah, he told me, Frank, on Saturday he calls me. He was very skeptical. He doesn't like to shake my hand. And I say, oh, what I did wrong. You know what? Take from today through Monday, pay, take it off. You cannot come back to the store. I say, wow, what I did wrong. Even I have prescriptions to pick up at the Walmart pharmacy, and I cannot do it because I have a restriction. And I say, well, I do when the restriction is over, and if you fire me, well, you have your reasons. I understand. But he gave me the paper, I don't know where I put, for the behavioral, let me see the name, because at 3 p.m. The name is, the company has a weird name, I forgot, but I said,
Lira,
Lira.
Lyra.
Yeah, I set up the closest appointment available because I am open. I have nothing to hide.
That's good. Glad you're taking advantage of those resources. You know, if they can talk to you about whatever you want to talk to you about. If you're having frustrations with the store, they can help talk you through that. So really take advantage of that. Whenever there's obviously a tragic situation that happened in Georgia, and an associate that is frustrated references it, we want to make sure that we're taking good care of you, providing you with the resources that you need, but we want to make sure that everybody is safe when they're in that building as well, okay?
Thank you, guys. And you know, I was reporting the curtain of the car gate was unlocked many times, and I was the one who was asking because Brandon never pays me attention. And I say, Mr. Brandon, this curtain must be locked nighttime because somebody can open, get into the store, attack our co-workers who are storing merchandise, or even take merchandise out and nobody can see it. That is dangerous. That is jeopardizing the safety of tens of workers. You know, and I was the only one denouncing that situation to you guys.
Well, I appreciate that. Jeff, do you have any other questions? All right, what questions do you have for us?
Just if I can come back to work on Thursday, because tomorrow I am off, and Wednesday. And if you have a recommendation to tell me, I'll be happy to follow up. Probably you are going to review, I don't know if it's a video or audio, the conference with the therapist. I will answer her questions.
Yeah, the store will be back in touch with you to let you know when you're able to come back, okay?
Okay.
Just let us complete our investigation, and then the store will be in communication with you to let you know, all right?
Okay, for now, I stay in standby.
Yes, sir.
Pay
Yes, sir.
or not pay because I have bills to do.
That's your market team will let you know on that, okay?
Okay. So,
Okay.
but who is going to tell me the last word? And when? After you complete the investigation, you
Yes,
send
sir.
me a
Yes, sir.
mail or a note, or what's the protocol?
Yeah, we'll get back in touch with you, whether it's the store, the market, or myself. So I'm going to be in touch with you as soon as possible, let you know the outcome of the investigation and when you can come back, okay?
Okay. If
All
your
right.
judgment is positive, if not, well, I am going to understand. Because the other day I was thinking, and let me bring out, if I have a lot of trouble with Brandon don't likes me there. It's evident. And you know, having the boss against is a big disadvantage. So if he is doing blackmail because my coworkers tell me, I send you pictures he's taking me when I am on the store, and some coworkers show me, oh, be careful, Brandon is taking pictures of you when you go out, when you are here, when you are there. He has you under the loop. If that is the case, well, move me to another department. Oh, sorry.
No, he's fine. He's got to step away real quick.
Okay. And
Well,
if he
hey,
doesn't like me,
that ethics investigation is separate from this. So if that's something that you've reported to ethics, that's fine. I'm not with Walmart ethics, okay?
okay.
What I want to make sure is that you're safe, our associates and our customers are safe, and you shared that article without a whole lot of context, and I wanted to get to the bottom of what your thought process was there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but nothing was intentionally with bad attitude. What I did is that impact me as well impact to you too. And I
Sure.
say, guys, please check this out. Happened here in Georgia, miles away from our store.
Yeah. It was a tragic situation.
Yeah,
Yes.
for everyone is sad because especially for us, the people who are on the front of the store, we never know. My son told me when they moved me to be a host, I was happy, and the first thing my son told me, Dad, be careful. That is risky. You don't know which one customer has good or bad intentions. And it's true. And look, from an employee, in my understanding, it was an employee, the one who attacked. And the other thing is, it is why I was reporting the curtains unlocked, because this guy is a co-worker, come back on late, and look what he did.
Yeah, I can't really speak to specifics of that case, and I
Yeah,
won't.
me too.
So,
But you know, this, if I transfer you this news story, is because if you put my mails together, when I report the gate unlocked, when I report this and that and blah blah blah, in fact, I am trying to avoid a situation like that.
well, any other questions or concerns that you have?
No, I will follow up. Right now is 13:46. I am waiting to 3, and I am going to follow up with the therapist, a very nice lady, and probably you will see the reports before me, or I will not see it, but it's okay. I follow the rules, I am disciplined, I work for you guys, and I respect the rules.
Frank, we appreciate your time. If you have any questions, feel free to reach back out. You got my cell number now, right? So if you got any questions,
and you know, the weird thing is many coworkers called me yesterday and people start to build, situations that doesn't exist. Frank, are you okay? What you did wrong? You are not here. Somebody tells you are suspended. I don't answer.
That's a good.
I
That's
don't
a good thing
answer
to do.
to don't put wood on the blackmail, and I follow here the protocols. And if you assign me back to work, I'll be back into work like if nothing happens. Period.
Okay. Well, if you don't have any other questions, Frank, I just want to say thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and we'll be back in touch with you soon. Okay.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Have a great day, Jeff.
Yes.
Okay, Adam and Jeff. It's good to see you guys.
Good to
You
see you.
turn off, or I turn off.
I'll turn it off. No problem. Bye,
Thank you,
Frank.
guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Frank Durán Rosillo te saluda y los saluda a todos ustedes, su amiga María Celeste Raraz, para invitarlos a que se suscriban a mi canal de YouTube, María Celeste Raraz, tal como mi nombre, donde les informo todas las semanas sobre entrevistas que tienen un tema que ayuda a mejorarnos como personas y de paso son interesantes. Las pueden encontrar en mi canal de YouTube, así que los espero. Y se suscriben gratis.
Escuchaste el análisis de la noticia, transparente como el agua, con el periodista Francisco Durán Rosillo.